I don't know, talk some soccer. So for last week's episode, I still wasn't like feeling the best, so I decided to just post the one I did like okay, so I was feeling better, but I just decided to post the one I had did prior just because it made more sense. Yeah, welcome to Goal Rush. Some exciting things. We're gonna have some guests on the show. I've lined up at least one or two, which is super exciting. So yay! And if you didn't see, we launched the Fun Kicks sweaters. I'm wearing it, and I've been wearing it, but like, look how cute. They were finally launched after having to delay them a little bit. But yay, and I am now working on trying to push both Goal Rush and Reinvented out onto more platforms so you guys don't just have to watch them on YouTube. Yeah, so I didn't really think of an idea for the episode. So I'm kind of just going to go into some like soccer news we saw this week, or at least that I saw within the past couple of days. So it'll probably be like old news by the time you guys see this. But obviously, Gotham is getting like a hella like superstar team together. Obviously, as we saw, they had signed Crystal Dunn. And these are all free agents, by the way. So they signed Crystal Dunn. They signed Tierna Davidson. And then it was just announced, I believe, like yesterday, they signed Rose Lavelle and Emily Sonnet. All of them obviously have experience on the U.S. Women's National Team. So obviously, they're kind of, obviously just building this like really big team, which is smart on their half, to get players who obviously have experience playing like on the national team, and who have that experience, kind of like more at that professional level. Even though people were like, well, what are they going to do? What are half their teams off at the Olympics? Because most likely you have like at least a majority of them probably going to be on the Olympic roster. Now, whether that's on the full team roster or as an alternate, that's still, still an option. But yeah. So I mean, and at the end of the day, when I saw like people asking that, I'm thinking, well, I mean, obviously, you would hope that their professional standard is where it needs to be in the club. That they can have players who can rise up to the occasion and who can perform while the team's away at the Olympics. So yeah. Obviously, the Olympics this year is going to be a little different because you don't have England in the Olympics and you don't have Sweden. Two teams that are have very consistently gone to the Olympics. And obviously the World Cups, and Sweden was the number one team in the world after the World Cup, and they came in third at the World Cup. They're not in the Olympics, and they were very consistently at the Olympics. Then you obviously have like England, who has been at the Olympics, and they were runners up in the World Cup, not at the Olympics. Now, comparatively, in like soccer, obviously the World Cup is the more major tournament, because that's mostly just soccer specific. Unlike the Olympics, where it's like, okay, yeah, you won soccer at the Olympics, but winning a World Cup, it's just a little bit bigger of a deal, just in terms of like how people look at it. Yeah. And then you have, I also like, I guess for like the men's side, I've seen that they've signed, like Inter Miami has signed some new players, which obviously for the MLS that's huge, because MLS compared to other like leagues like in Europe. MLS is obviously a little bit smaller of a league, a little bit more minor league. So to